So how's it going, boss buddies? Now I hope everyone's doing really well. I suddenly realised the other day that I hadn't actually done a review of one of my favourite fragrances from the house of Clive Christian, which is X for Men, this one right here. So I'm going to be back in just a second to tell you all about this one. So welcome back, you're watching the Luxury Fragrance Boss channel. My name's Scott, of course I'm the Luxury Fragrance Boss, so thank you for joining me for another review. Now some of you would have seen, if you follow my channel regularly, that over Christmas I treated myself to the Clive Christian travel set here, which is the collection of the originals. The 3 original fragrances from the house of Clive Christian when they bought out the Crown Perfumery, which is 20 years ago, which reminds me it is their 20th anniversary. So they've got some special edition pieces being released this year, which I'm really looking forward to trying. But out of the collection, I'd reviewed number 1 and 1872, but I realised the other day that I hadn't actually done X. X is featured in a couple of my top 5s, I think. I can't remember which ones because I do quite a few, but yeah, it has featured in a couple of my top 5s or maybe a top 10, but I hadn't actually done the individual review of this one, despite the fact this is actually my favourite one out of the collection. This one was my favourite one from the entire house until I smelled Jump Up and Kiss Me Hedonistic from the Addictive Arts collection, which was sent to me from Bloomingdale's by the Clive Christian group, by the Clive Christian rep there. And this one just absolutely blew me away. If you haven't had a chance to try Hedonistic, which is Jump Up and Kiss Me Hedonistic, the men's version from the Addictive Arts collection, definitely check that one out as well. Now, so moving on to X, as I said, this one's one of my favourites, well, is my favourite from the original collection. What I love about this one is it's just such a nice, masculine, very spicy smelling fragrance. What this really reminds me of is when I was younger, maybe if you're the same age as me, so late 30s, early 40s, let's say, then maybe your parents had a spice rack or something like that. I remember like my mum's one was, it was kind of a thing at the time that they'd have like these little, like literally a rack for the spices. So my mum had like a little one, which was like a little cabinet that you opened up the doors and it had like 2 rows of all different spices in their little jars and stuff like that. But just the smell of all the combination of the different spices, this is really what this this fragrance reminds me of, because there's quite a bit in there. You've got some peppers in there, and there's also some cardamom and a couple of other spices in there. But it opens up to me, when it first opens up, it does smell sort of really, really fresh. It smells almost menthol-like to me, despite the fact there's no menthol or mint notes in there, but that's really what it smells like. It opens up really, really fresh. As time goes on though, the cedar and the other woods start to come out and it settles down a bit, but you still got those wonderful spicy notes in there. So let's go over the notes of this one. In the top notes, you got pink pepper, bergamot, cardamom oil, and ginger. In the heart notes, you got iris, violet, and cinnamon. And in the base notes, you got vetiver, tree moss, ambergris, styrax, labdanum, vetiver, Virginia, cedarwood, and vanilla. So as I said, that cedarwood really comes out sort of later on, but it is a very, very spicy, very masculine smelling fragrance, and it is an absolute beauty. I've seen sort of mixed reviews on the longevity of this one. For me, this one really does last though. It's, I wouldn't say it's the most powerful one. I'd say number 1 was probably the most powerful one. It's a lot more powerful than I remembered when I wore it from a spray, because when I first tried all 3 of these, it was actually out of dabbers. Obviously, Clive Christian is not available where I live, so I had to order in samples. And the only way I could do that was in the dabbers from Lucky Scent at the time. But I mean, number 1, when I sprayed it on, it was way more powerful out of that. And the same with X as well. X was quite potent when it was on out the dabber, but out the spray, I mean, the longevity of this one I found goes on all day. Definitely, it's a long-lasting fragrance. I easily managed 10 to 12 hours out of that one. It's not one that I woke up with smelling the next morning or anything like that. But yeah, good 10 to 12 hours, so easily enough to get you through a day, and even an evening at the gym as well. And it's still kind of pumping out. When I was sort of letting off heat in the gym, it's still sort of, you get those last little bits of spices and stuff like that popping out. So projection wise, this one's very, very strong to begin with, and then it does die down a little bit. I'd say you're looking at sort of around sort of 3 to 4 feet for probably the first couple of hours, and then it sort of scales back to probably around 1 to 2 feet. It's a little bit closer to the skin after the first few hours. but it's still one that you will smell all the way throughout the day. And it's like I say, it's a very, very spicy, very, very manly, masculine, very, very enjoyable fragrance. Now, something I want to point out as well is this. I mean, I paid 190, I think it was £195 for this collection here. But they've recently just started doing the small 10ml bottles, which is exactly what these are. And they're selling them individually. They emailed me the other day to let me know about this because they're only I think £30, £35, I think number one, £32 for the rest of them. They've got quite a few of the collection that are available at that price. So, I mean, bearing in mind I paid nearly £200 for just the 3 of them. It comes in this wonderful little set and the case. But, I mean, if you want to try those fragrances, they're a very, very affordable price now. That's only exclusively on their website. So, so have a look on there if you do want to pick up a small bottle of the world's most expensive fragrance, number one, then definitely check that one out. As usual, please like, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which ones have you tried out the original collection? Which ones are your favourites from Clive Christian? Stick them in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. You can find me at Luxury Fragrance Boss. That way you can keep up to date with my scent of the day, anything else I've got going on, whatever the cats are ruining in the house, anything like that. Hit that notification bell, that way you can keep up to date with all my videos anytime I'm releasing a new review or a new top 5, top 10, anything like that. So make sure you hit that so you're the first to know. Besides that, stay smelling fantastic. I look forward to seeing you very soon, and thank you so much for watching.